Okay, so in this move on the upside in Algorand, something unbelievably bullish happened in here, and I'm going to talk to you about it in today's video. But before that, we are going to do a short-term analysis and see what is happening in this area and what can be the next possible move for Algo. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And before we start today's video, I need to tell you, in about 2 days, for my special members, I'm going to, I would say, probably put out the most important video that I have ever made. So if you want to have access to those videos and informations, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. Let's get on with our video and see what is happening. So let's zoom in more and do a short-term analysis in here and see what is going on. And then we are going to go on some higher time frames and see what is happening. So first things first, this to me seems like an impulsive structure on the upside. And the fact that in this move, we actually took this side is a very, very bullish sign. But here's the question. What happens after an impulse, a correction structure on the downside, in case that the bottom is in and we are bullish? And you might argue, well, okay, this can be maybe like a head and shoulder structure, and because of it we got a move down. Okay, fair enough, doesn't really matter one way or the other. After an impulse, I'm expecting a correction in case that the bottom is in. Can I tell you now this is a corrective movement on the downside? The answer is yes, but we can also have 5 down in here and then after it correction up and followed by that another move on the downside in order to have, you know it, an A, B, C zigzag. So if for the next week or two you see something like this happening in Algo, do not worry about it. This is absolutely normal in case of the bullish scenario, which suggests that the bottom is in, and starting from the lowest low down here, we are having 5 wave up into a wave 1. This whole move down is a correction structure. We talked about it, I believe, in the previous video. It's probably an ABC expanded flat into wave 2, and at the moment we are on our way to complete the subwaves for a huge wave 3 and 4 and 5, again in case that the bottom is in. And the idea is this is an impulse into a wave 1. This whole move down is a correction structure into wave 2, and after it's over, what's gonna happen? Well, according to this thing, a huge move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5, again once more in order to complete the subwaves for this red wave 3 right in here. So far I can definitely tell you in Algorand there is just nothing to be worried about, and it seems like that we are going according to the bullish possibility. Now, every single analysis should have a very important invalidation point, and what's it going to be for this bullish possibility? I think we talked about this before. It is going to be taking the lowest low down here about, let's say, 32.5 cents. In other words, if we see a huge move down in Algo, in order to take this low at that point, I'm going to argue that odds are this is, instead of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just a simple ABC zigzag. And from here, our move down is going to continue a bit in order to take the lowest low down here as well, about, let's say, 28 cents. But I don't expect that after taking this low, we're going to go a whole lot lower. No, I think soon we are going to get a massive bounce back, and we are going to start the next major phase of the bull run. But again, as long as we're not taking this low, I don't really think that we should be talking about this bearish possibility, especially because in this move, we actually took this high right in here with absolute authority. So for now, this thing right in here, which suggests that we are probably having a series of 1-2s, is going to be my primary case. And in like very short term, we can expect something like this to happen in Algo, and it is going to be, I promise you, very normal. And this, my friends, is the extent of short-term analysis that we are going to do in today's video. Now let's go on another chart. Actually, before that, you know how I've been talking about this thing, that we are having in this area some sort of a correction structure and not an impulse. And if you want to say this is a correction, it can be a WXY in form of a zigzag followed by a double zigzag, or maybe a WXYZ in form of a triple zigzag. Now I think we are having some confirmation that suggests this is indeed a corrective movement. Why is that? Let's go on H4 time frame and let's actually go on daily time frame. Excuse me. There we go. You see, in my analysis, I use a lot of Elliot waves, and if you want to argue that in terms of Elliot waves, we are going to have our final bottom right around here. Maybe this is like a very important support. Then, okay, you need to be able to find off of the lowest low in this region a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. This specific example is a normal 5 wave. Rules for it are we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of impulsive movement, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. This is a very, very important point. I need you to remember this one because we are going to use this thing in our analysis. Now, on the other hand, if you want to argue that our bull run is actually over and we are going to start a massive bear market soon, then okay, you need to be able to find off of the highest high a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, which again, once more, in it, wave 3 under any kind of circumstances should not be the smallest wave. Understood? Okay. Now let's go on a less busy chart and see what is going on. Maybe from crypto.com. Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's go, excuse me, around here and zoom in more, maybe on H4 time frame. So I'm going to, in today's video, play devil's advocate, meaning I'm going to argue, you know what, maybe our bull run in Algorand is over and I was absolutely wrong. And from here, we are going to start like a massive, massive bear market in order to set new lows and take the lowest low all the way down here about 8.5 cents. Then, okay, fair enough. In that case, I need to be able to find off of the highest high in here about 61 cents, a 5 wave impulsive structure down. Now, are we going to say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down? Because our best shot at finding an impulse is pretty much going to be this thing right in here. Then, okay, fair enough. Let's zoom in more and first put the chart on regular scale. There we go. Let's measure our waves. Let's just take this one and measure our supposedly wave 3 from the side to about this point. Is it going to be smaller than this wave 5? The answer is by a decent margin right in here. Yes. Is it also smaller than our wave 1? Also by a decent margin, as you can see right in here. The answer is yes. So what's the plan in here? The idea is, because in this structure, which is pretty much our best shot at finding an impulse in this area, wave 3 is the smallest wave. Okay, we are going to say this cannot be a 5 wave impulsive structure down. However, in the previous videos, I was saying, well, okay, we can argue maybe instead of an impulse, we are going to have, according to an absolute bearish scenario, a series of 1-2s, and we are just going to continue our move down. And this is the key. This scenario recently got invalidated. Why is that? You know it. Because in this move on the upside, we have clearly taken this high right in here. And what does this mean? This means if you want to be bearish one way or the other in algo, you must be able to find an impulse in this area, which I told you based on what we talked about is not possible. So what's the message? I'm going to argue now we can say with a hell of a lot of more confidence that whatever move on the downside that we are having in this region is just a correction structure, and after it's over, or who knows, maybe it's over already, we are going to have a massive, massive move on the upside in order to at least take this high right in here about, let's say, 61.5 cents. But if you are a regular viewer, you probably know it. I don't think that we are going to stop here. No, I think, who knows, maybe even starting from the current point, we can have like a 2 to potentially even 300% move on the upside. So the reason for why I am much more optimistic than before in algo is because any kind of doubt that I had about this move down being a correction structure, I'm not really going to have them now, and I'm going to be able to be bullish with quite a bit more confidence and say, you know what, this is indeed a correction structure. Does this mean that from the current point we're going to get a move up? Yes, if you want to go according to the bullish scenario and say the bottom is in, we can definitely do that, but we can also have another move down in here. Now, what if something like this is going to happen? Again, it doesn't really matter. Even in this case, I'm going to argue once more, this is a correction, and after it's over, we are going to start the next major phase of the bull run. So I hope I explained that well and you understood what is going on in here and why am I so optimistic now in algo. Anyway, If you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the market, or maybe you want to have access to the video that I'm going to put out in about 2 days, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.